on, son.
Raphael on the track.
Come on, son. Come on, son. Come on, son. What up, y'all? It's Ed Lover. It's another episode of Come On, Son, the podcast. Brought to you by Cigars International. Thank you, Cigars International. Hey, check it out. Through Father's Day, right? I have my own code on cigarsinternational.com. So you go to cigarinternational.com, and if you want to purchase cigars, you'll get 10% off your entire order. All you have to do is put in ED10 off when you go to checkout. That's ED10 off, right in time for Father's Day. So if you have a father, a brother, an uncle, a cousin, a baby father, a boyfriend that likes to smoke cigars, go to cigarinternational.com. When you go to checkout, write in ED10 off. ED10 off. ED10 off. You ain't got to write it that many times. I was just saying it that many times so that you understand it. Okay, ED10 off to get 10% off your entire purchase. Big up to everybody, my man Wes, everybody over at Cigar International for being the official sponsor of the Come On Son, the podcast. Now, tonight, I don't know what time it is when you're listening to this shit, I want to talk a little bit about sex. Because in America, the funny that strikes me funny about sex is everybody's always so up in arms about sex. Whether you straight, gay, trans, whatever you are, people are up in arms, swinging, committed. Whatever you are, people are always up in arms about sex. But if it wasn't for sex, none of us would have been here. Somebody fucked somebody for you to be here. Your mama fucked somebody, okay? I used to love to do comedy, and I always have a part of my show when I'm doing comedy when I'm telling women that the pussy is not the most important thing, that the dick suck is. And one time I had a young dude in the audience, he's about 17, and I was like, are those your parents? And he was like, yeah, that's my mom and my dad. I was like, close your eyes and picture your mom sucking your dad's dick right now, because at some point your mama done sucked the dick. Okay, so that's how we got here. So actually within sex, in here in Atlanta, I'm broadcasting from Atlanta, I live here now, there's a club called Trapeze that I've heard about. Never been to it, but I hear that it's a swingers club, and it's where people are really open about sex and sexuality and all of that, and whatever they want to do, and people throw their parties, and people do this kind of stuff at their house. You know, sex toys are a multi-million-dollar market. Candy Birds from the Real Housewives of Atlanta has her own sex toy company, and she's making a fucking mint over it. Porn is a billion-dollar industry. Nobody wants to admit that they watch porn. Some fucking body is watching porn, or they wouldn't be making all that damn money. And it's still that way, even though they have free sites that you can go to and watch little clips, 7 minutes, 8 minutes of porno. Okay, nobody wants to admit they masturbate. Nobody wants to admit that they have toys. Nobody wants to admit that they like sex. I don't understand it. So today I have invited two young ladies that I've come to know over the last couple of weeks. One is named Ebony, the other one is named Takita, and we are going to talk about swinging, swingers, and the underground movement of sex that's going on in this country. Welcome to the Come On Son podcast.
Thanks for having us.
How y'all doing?
We're doing well.
So tell me, how did y'all get into this part of your life? How did this whole thing happen for you?
Do you want to go first?
Ooh. Well, me, I got married at a very young age, like 18, and I was married for 13 years, so with the same guy that whole time. So when I got into my second marriage, it was more, I wanted to be more free with, the relationship and, and experience more. Mm-hmm. So that's how I got involved with it.
How did it get initiated on your part?
Ooh, let me make sure. Well, I've always been curious and, about swinging and stuff like that. So he asked me one day, did I want to try it? And I was like, yeah. And we've been doing it. We did it for 7 whole years.
But before that, for you, Ebony, were you bi? Did you ever feel like you were bisexual?
Yeah, I was.
You weren't bi.
I'm very bi.
You weren't bi within your relationship before?
You talking about my first marriage?
Yeah.
No.
So how did you suppress your bisexuality for 13 years?
porn. Because how could you have porn and masturbate? You know what I'm saying? You know,
Right.
once you do that, you over it for a little while, and then, you know, until that urge come back up again, then you do it again. But once I divorced my kid's father, I just, after that, I just did whatever I wanted to do. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So I started experiencing more and more and more and liking it. And so the whole swinger part of it was exciting to me. 'Cause
Okay.
not only do I get to do that, I get to be with other men as well.
Okay.
So,
Oh,
yeah.
and your second husband was cool with that?
Yeah, he was cool. We actually only dated married couples. So we had like a whole team. It was like maybe like what,
Like
Peter?
10 couples?
Like 10 couples, and
We all kind of,
Yeah.
you know,
Oh, so that's
it
how
was
y'all
safe.
met.
That's how we
Yes.
met.
Okay, so
Yes.
so TQ, I'll call you TQ.
Okay.
How did it happen for you?
For me, I was always, I guess, curious as well. In college, I had my first experience with the woman, but it was set up through a guy that I was dating. So,
Oh,
my
tell
first
me about
experience
that,
with
please.
a woman was a threesome. So we had been
He
dating.
wanted a threesome?
Well, he asked me, like, you know, one day we were on the phone and he was just like, you know, have you ever, you know, been with a woman? Are you interested in women? I was kind of like, yeah, actually, I've actually thought about it. You know, I had been online searching since I was pretty young.
Mm-hmm.
So, I knew that I was curious and that I was interested. I needed to at least try it for real to see if I liked it. So,
Right.
He was dating another girl because we weren't exclusive. We were just, you know,
Right.
kicking it. So, but we were very good friends. So, he had another girl he was kind of dating, and he was like, all right, well, we'll all meet up. We'll go out for drinks. If there's some chemistry, then, you know, we'll just see what happens. And it all went well. She was beautiful. She was just like the perfect girl that I would want for it to be my first time.
Right.
But the funny thing is that I was so, I felt like I was having an out-of-body experience. I was like watching myself. So I couldn't even really like fully enjoy it. I knew I liked it, but I couldn't fully enjoy it because I was like, oh my God, like what I was saying earlier,
Yeah.
like, oh my God, she's eating my pussy. Oh my God. Like I was kind of, you know, so I was like I was there, but I wasn't there.
Yeah, like
but
it's
I knew
finally happening,
like it's
too.
finally
Yeah.
happening.
Yeah,
So-
I understand with that. The first time I
yeah.
ever had a threesome, like with two girls, I
Yeah.
was like that myself. I was like laid back, like I can't believe they both sucking my dick.
Yeah.
At the same time.
Yeah.
Like so, instead of me just enjoying being in the moment, it was like, is this shit
Really happening.
Really happening
like
to me?
I wanted to see everything. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't want to miss nothing.
Yeah,
you know?
that's the night I call the best night of my life.
Yeah, and it was also my first time again having a threesome, so I was also very intrigued with their interaction.
Right.
It was a lot going on for the first time.
Right. Yeah. When men have threesomes, we have rules though. If it's two of us and one girl, like my best friend was dating a girl and she had a thing for me, and he was like, hey, such and such got a thing for you. She want to like me, you, and her to get together. And I was like, okay, we can do that, but
Got
we
to
got to lay
touch.
down the ground rules.
Right.
The ground rules is when the movement has to happen
That is-
clockwise. Don't you come left and I go right, and then our genitalia touch each other. I don't do sword fighting, bro.
Right.
You my best friend, I love you,
But when-
flirty, but you got to go that way when I come this way. All right, so if I'm coming up to get some head and you gonna smash from the back, make sure you go in the
Other
same
direction.
same direction I'm going.
You know what? That's crazy. Out of all the experiences that I had, I've never had like two guys.
Right. Me neither.
It's
Had to
not
think
really
about
that
it, but no.
common. Like really.
Well, it's not. Guys don't really look at it the same way. So it's like when a guy, especially if it's your girl or if you tell a
yeah.
dude like, oh, I want to have another dude, you know, they're like, what? Like it kind of throws you.
You know
completely
why,
off.
right? You know why, right?
I think it's just an ego thing.
Absolutely, because
know?
we're first of all we're afraid that you might start liking the other guy,
Right.
outside of us, and then the biggest part of that, I don't want no motherfucker with a bigger dick than me in the bedroom. Fucking me and my girl, and I'm in the room. This nigga out in the hallway, shish kebabbing you out in the hallway, and now my dick looks like it doesn't mean anything
Now
anymore.
there's been situations where we've done like again, you know, messing with a swap with another couple,
Right.
And my husband at the time and his wife were going so hard, like we had to just be like, all right, just pause, like let these motherfuckers get in here and let me move, because
Really?
it was like
You
taking
could
over
definitely get
the
into some
bed.
uncomfortable
There, you know, it was just,
situations.
they were just loud and it was just like, all right,
Tell
let's
me
just
about it,
watch.
Eb. Tell me about it. You can definitely get into some situations where feelings get involved and people get hurt.
Well, I haven't had any feelings involved, but like I was telling you before, like in the beginning, we met each other, and she was supposed to hook up with my husband, but every time we got into a situation, like, his dick would not get hard. Yep. So, yeah, it was like you have situations like that where he ain't got no choice but to let you go, you know what I'm saying, have sex with somebody.
Yeah.
But
Maybe he was empty.
No, sometimes guys just be nervous.
Yeah,
right? Sometimes you just nervous. Sometimes
the
overexcitement. You know, you over been thinking about it. You've been planning it all day.
That's right. And
you don't
that
work yourself
motherfucker
up.
ain't doing nothing.
You tried to bust one just so you could be better, and now you ain't got no more. Like, I don't know, but that's just a lot of situations that potentially go on. But there's definitely situations where you have to be like, all right, well, I don't want my woman to just be sitting here. Next thing you know, she's gonna be pissed off at me. So
right.
But that's why you have rules. Like, we just don't go in like just go ham.
All
you know what I'm saying?
Since you brought that up, tell me some of the rules of swinging.
Okay, well, first,
like for me,
one
of my big ones was like I didn't like the kissing. So it's trial and error. So when you're in the beginning, like for instance, me and my ex-husband, we started our relationship even as dating. We kind of started out the gate as swinging because I'd already had the threesome experience, and he had been in a relationship previously that was similar. Okay. So we started out, right out the gate. So with trial and error, I was able to determine, like, okay, I don't like when you kissing these chicks. Like, some about that was more intimate than the actual sex act. Okay. So that was a rule for me. Mm-hmm. Like, okay, no kissing. Of course, protection all the time. Even if we're, like, at a party, I don't mind if you want to fuck some chick, but you got to come let me know. Like, I need to see who it is. And if anytime I walk up there, all the rules that we've already discussed better be being followed. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's just, everybody has their things. Like, initially we were doing like couples, and then I just was like, all right, fuck it. We just gonna fuck with girls. So then we were only just dating girls. Okay. So that was the majority of our relationship. What was it about the couple thing that made it to the couple thing started to suck because as a woman, I felt like I was literally getting the short end of the stick. So it's like, okay, my husband.
All right, why?
Well, because my husband has good dick. Like, I know that. That's why I married him.
If we're together and her husband fucking me and my man sitting over in a corner with a soft dick, you know what I'm saying?
I got the short end of the stick.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So I realized that, okay, I really just want to fuck your wife, but I'm kind of taking one for the team because we, you know what I mean? So it just became a thing like, I don't really want to fuck y'all. Like, my husband's sex is so much better typically on average, so we don't need these niggas. So we just started fucking. I'm just gonna bring girls.
So you ain't want no, so just your husband, but he get the fuck, but you wasn't fucking dudes. You just fucking
now
with
that
girls.
Did get old. Trust me, that shit got old.
Please elaborate.
After some years, that shit got old. And then when and the funny thing was, I took men off the table. He didn't take men off the table. I did. Okay. But after not doing it for so long, and then when I wanted to be back on the table, it was a problem.
Oh.
Yes, it was a problem. Yeah, we even tried it again. Like, we tried. We had an argument about it, then because it was very uneven, Right. So I was like, I'm not saying I just want to be out there.
Right. You're not getting
and
no
I'm not saying I'm only be out there just wilding, but if a situation happens to come up where there happens to be a guy that I do want to have sex with, which is not often, like, I want it to at least be an option, not just like, nah, we don't do that, So we tried it, and
did he get mad at you for changing your mind because you're the one that originally took it off the table?
Yeah, but my thing is I should be able to put it back on the table.
Right.
But so then I should be able to put it back on the table if I took it off. Right.
Yeah, I would think so.
I would think so too. So when we tried it, the problem was that he didn't really want to do it, I guess. So he ended up not being able to perform because he was so into what I was doing. Like, oh, you suck this dick like this.
Yeah, because I can imagine mentally.
It was just too much going on for him. And then it fucked the whole vibe up.
Is that a mental part of it, Ebony, that you may be enjoying, especially when you were swinging with your husband? If another guy is really, really good, does that bother him that you may be enjoying that more than you actually enjoy sex with him?
It does. I feel like most of the times where he couldn't participate was because he was paying attention to what I was doing, how I was enjoying it, because I make it good for myself, so it always look nice. You know what I mean? It always look good as hell. But we also, back to the rule thing, like, he couldn't go and just find bitches. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was something that I had to do. It was no kissing, same room sex. You can't just go round the corner and fuck a bitch and come back. You know what I'm saying? Like, we ain't doing that.
Why?
Because you just can't. I feel when I'm in control of the situation, I feel more comfortable with doing it. Like, because if I let him take over the whole thing, we'll be fucking bitches every day. Bitches will be living with us, all kind of shit. So I was like, nah, let me do it.
Right.
But I thought about this the other day when me and you was talking, and that point you brought up, like, men still, like, we ain't together now because he still cheated. You understand what I'm saying? Like, even though I let him fuck all these girls, he still cheated. And it was because I was choosing these girls.
Yes.
And like you said, it's me telling him what he's still controlling the situation.
Yes,
telling him who
the men don't like to be controlled.
No, I let my husband did all of the fishing per se. I didn't, he would just bring girls to me and I would approve them or disapprove them. And that's kind of how we did it.
Right.
And that's just because I was just more comfortable
Have
that
you ever
way.
had a situation where you were being disapproved? Like, he brought a girl to you and the girl's like, I don't want to fuck her.
No,
like,
that never happened. Actually, right, he wouldn't come back to me and say it, because the way he would do it was he would kind of already have that sold up. Like, you would have girls that be like, oh, well, your girl in here? Well, why you talking to me? And then he kind of go into like a little spiel about, oh, da-da-da-da. You ever been with a girl? And girls would be like, no, I've never been with a girl before. And then he'll go to question, where's she at?
Oh.
That's like the hook and sinker right there. The interest is already there. So you might have never been with a girl.
Do you both believe that every woman has bisexual in them?
Yes.
Yes and no. I think some
do.
women may just more in their mind just think it's gross and don't want to do it, but every bitch will probably let a bitch eat her pussy.
You think so?
Yeah.
Same shit. Bisexual. I mean, you'll do it.
In the right situation.
You have different ones, right.
The right person.
Right.
Like,
oh, I was drunk.
Hell, I
whatever.
fucked a whole lot of bitches who said they wasn't going to
most of them,
Really?
of the girls we had never been with girls before.
But I'm an aggressive femme, so I go after what I want.
Right.
So, yeah, I don't have those. I feel like I can fuck whoever I want to fuck.
Pretty much.
Except for that one time we was at the gold room, I had to beat a bitch ass. I ain't gay.
Could you please tell me about this?
You?
Tell me about
her birthday.
this.
It was so funny.
Whose birthday was it?
It was her birthday.
Okay.
No, it was Natasha's birthday.
Okay, we don't have Natasha here on the podcast.
No,
Leave
no.
Natasha out of it. So tell me what happened.
So we was at the gold room, and
The Gold Room is a very popular club here in the
Yeah.
Atlanta area. For people who don't live here, don't know what the Gold Room is.
And when I'm drunk and everything, I'm gonna do me, So I went out there and danced with the chick. She was like, bitch. I was like, well, bitch, I don't want to fuck you no way. And So I was like, Keita, let's beat her ass. She was like, nah, we ain't gonna fight the bitch. But, some people it just depends. If her friends weren't around, I probably would have fucked her too. So I ain't mad.
So you think that most women are sometimes putting up a front or holding things back?
Hell yeah, until they get drunk.
Yeah.
Or
now, if it's like, oh, my religion, and you're just so serious about being this Christian that don't do those things, and you think that's bad, then that's something that sometimes you just can't overcome. And I'm not even interested. Like, I wouldn't even try to do that. Like, that's not even my goal, So it kind of depends on those little things, but for the most part, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
That's just from our experience. Like, not just guessing.
Well, all you can talk about is your experience.
Like you said, I haven't really had a situation where it was like, no. Like, again, they may say no in the beginning. Like, there was even times where the girls would be like, okay, well, I'll mess with you, but I don't feel comfortable having sex with your husband. And I'd be like, okay.
Yeah,
and then they would come home, and then they'd be in the room.
2 days later.
No, they get in the room, and they see him slinging that dick, and they be like, all right.
I like a little of that
right.
too, huh?
Yeah, I'll try it.
I like a little too. Why do you guys think that is such a taboo subject for people to talk about?
Because most people are not really that comfortable with their sexuality.
Not open-minded.
And most people are not even enjoying sex that much. That's a whole nother thing, too.
Damn.
I realize a lot of women aren't having orgasms. A lot of women don't know how to give themselves an orgasm, which is a problem.
That's a problem right there.
That's a problem
If you don't know how to give yourself an orgasm, how do you know what an orgasm is?
It's going to be hard. And it's going to be hard for the next person, because you can't even guide. Now we playing the guessing game. It's going to take 3 whole months for the nigga to figure it out. It's just too much, So yeah, it's just people are not. It's like you said, porn is. We all know that everybody's having sex.
Right.
And everybody's looking at other people have sex. We all know that.
Yeah.
But I guess because we're all told,
I'm a bit of a voyeur.
Keep it in your bedroom.
I'll admit it.
Keep it in your bedroom.
Yeah, I'm a bit of a voyeur.
I'm a voyeur. I like to watch guys masturbate. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I'll pass the fuck out. That is my shit.
Yeah, I am a bit of a voyeur. I like to watch. I'm a bit of a voyeur. I like to watch, but I think a lot of people find that this taboo thing about sex, and one thing that y'all brought up, and I think a lot of people that are listening to the podcast will say, well, what about safe sex? What about safe sex? Is it dangerous? Is it dangerous for y'all to swing?
Well, it's always safe. It's always safe in my case, you know. But of course, like I said, I think I didn't see videos or, you know, been in these groups where they fucking these girls raw. See, it's a difference. There are swingers and there are lifestylers.
Okay, now tell me the difference.
Okay, so lifestylers are just random people, individual people, some married man, you know, that are in these groups that just hook up with each other. And swingers, you really dating another couple. You know what I'm saying? Like,
everybody
you're
has
over to
something
the
to
house
lose.
for Thanksgiving. You know, it's like you're actually really dating.
Were friends.
Yeah, friends, you know.
Like, it ended up being, like, really close bonds and friendships. Like, we all trusted each other.
Yeah.
You know, we weren't dealing with any couples that were having drama or issues or things like that. Or, you know, we knew somebody was cheating. Like, we didn't deal with those type of people. So we only really wanted to deal with other happy couples. That way, the chances of you trying to ruin my marriage or me trying to ruin your marriage are a little slim to none. You definitely take more chances when you're dealing with single women, of course. But in a situation with couples, it's like, well, if everybody in here, we all know each other, everybody's safe, everybody's good, everybody know what everybody's doing, then everybody should be good. And so we were only dealt with solid couples.
Okay.
You know, only just you had to have your shit together. You start having some drama, you got booted up out the clique. It was very simple. Like, we just didn't need that. You know, I don't need you to be jealous. Like, anything that you may have brought to the table that seemed like it could potentially be a problem was eliminated right out the gate.
Okay, so, you know, but of course there was going to be some of that.
We really didn't have any issues in our group with that. Not with that type of stuff, honestly. We really didn't. Later on down the line, I may have had issues a couple times with a few single women. But at the end of the day, I still kind of blame my husband for that.
What are the issues with the single women?
Like I said, my husband kind of really played on the, you know, I love my wife, I love her, she's so amazing, she's so awesome, and that's how he played it to women. So when women would come into our bedroom, they kind of wanted a man to love them like that as well. Oh, wow. So a lot of times they would get with us, I felt like, because they just wanted to be close to that energy, that feel, that love, you know, and so what happens is that once they experience it, they really want a piece of it. You know what I mean? So here goes the sneak texting or, you know, the extra conversations I don't know y'all having, why y'all even have each other's number. And
so there's supposed to be no numbers exchanged.
Well, in my situation was a little different because I let him do all of the hunting.
In my situation, no. In her situation, yes.
Right.
Yeah.
So sometimes he would be having a conversation with a chick for like a whole week before I ever meet her. And then the problem came sometimes where we would meet them like out in public somewhere, and it was very obvious that they had a bond already because they've been talking for a week or two, you know, getting to know each other, and she doesn't know me. And when you feel like she is there for him and not for you, that's a problem.
Okay.
Too. It's like, okay, so you're here because you want to fuck my husband,
so
not because you want to kick it with me.
So it's better for you, Ebony, from your point of view, when we having a couple of drinks, I see a bad bitch I want to fuck, let me go get her.
You talking about me?
Yes, in your situation.
Yeah.
That's the way you did it.
Exactly.
You didn't like you didn't want all that calling bitches.
You know what? If my ex-husband was a little bit more conservative, I would let him. He was the type of nigga to push you out the mirror type nigga. You know what I'm saying? So he was too. At the end,
competitive.
I felt like towards the end of our marriage we were competitive because we did start capitalizing off the shit, of course.
Okay,
so,
meaning what?
I came up with My Sexy Bubbles, which was a lifestyle group where we threw themed parties that was really geared towards women and being sexy. So we had like all white lingerie, corset and fishnet, you know, things like that. And they'll come to my
glow
house.
Parties and stuff.
The pool, we had glow party. You know, and it's like all about making the women feel sexy, you know. So we started that, and that's for women of all shapes and sizes. But I know everybody probably like, bitch, you be the main one. I know fat bitches. If you ain't sexy, don't bring your ass to my house. But no, I don't really be meaning that. But I mean sexy sexy is, it can be like, it's a mental thing for me. You know what I'm saying?
Everybody,
Like,
you can exude sexiness no matter how you look.
Exactly. But, yeah, we started throwing parties. As a matter of fact, I need to tell everybody, My Sexy Bubbles, we're having a party, Corset and Fishnet 3. In July.
Yeah.
It's going to be the bomb. And if y'all want to come, you can just email me at corsetandfishnets3@gmail.com. And then, because it's going to be I hand-pick bitches. Hand-pick them.
But what guys can come, though?
They can come in damn polo pajamas and Gucci
Most
sandals.
of the time, guys are kind of like, it's casual stuff for them.
Right.
It's always hard when you're doing sexy parties, like for guys to have a theme. It just always is. Like, So we just kind of always let the guys do
always
like
say
pajamas.
we don't know.
Yeah,
how to
some
be
guys
sexy.
are there like in their
Men
robes.
just got to be thought of being sexy.
Yeah.
When we try to be sexy, we look like a fucking pack of
I mean, we
idiots.
do say like no real street clothes. Like you know, we're not gonna have girls like half naked and then you come in a full on, boom boom. So you know, we do kind of gear them towards more.
So
of
is
like
this just a party or is this a
It's
lifestyle
a party. See, now we don't call it that. We just call it now. We kind of transformed My Sexy Bubble since our whole clique then got split up and divorced and all that shit behind this shit. So what we do is we call it open-minded environments. You know, if you're a judgmental person,
just keep your ass
don't
at
bring
home.
your ass over here.
Okay.
You know, like, we're not saying, it's going to be all this fucking going on, because it may not be none. It's just having a good time.
It'll
I'll tell
probably
y'all
be a lot of
something
naked people. That's just how all of our people are and our friends are. Like, everybody be ready to take their clothes off. So
I will tell you from my experiences of living in California for quite some time, and my experiences with dealing with certain people that I've known in the porn industry, women and men. Off-camera porn parties are the boringest fucking shits I've ever been to in my life. And you get this idea that it's going to be a lifestyle swinger type thing because they're porn stars and everybody's going to be fucking. And no, they fuck for that money on camera. That's it. This shit is boring as fuck.
I can imagine.
Like,
because it's
oh
a bit.
my
You
God.
gotta understand. It's a
Y'all are
business for them.
boring.
It's a business for them. This was something we chose to do because we actually wanted to do it and we enjoy it. So that's the difference in their parties and then our parties. You know what I mean? People are paying to come here for that reason. So it's like, if you don't have to come
To
here.
let their
There's
hair
enough
down,
shit
to
going
be
on in Atlanta
uninhibited, to be
that you don't have to be here. Like, we're not
unrestricted.
Yeah.
To be honest, I just like open-minded environments where
Altogether.
if you want to, be naked, or if you want to do whatever the hell you want to do, you could do it without somebody judging you. So that's why, a lot of people don't fuck with us, but, because they feel like we too
give
much.
out the information for your party, Corsets.
You can email me at corsetandfishnets3@gmail.com. Or you can go like our page on Facebook, My Sexy Bubbles, and also Instagram, My Sexy Bubbles.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
So now, is when you're in that lifestyle of swinging or whatever, is race an issue or preference?
Preference. And
yeah, like I tried it. I tried the white girl thing. I just didn't enjoy it. They're different. They feel different. They taste different. It's just different. I'm not really.
Feel different.
Yeah, they're just different.
How they skin feel
They
different?
do. Like
Ebony?
the elasticity and it's just different. It don't feel the same. It feel mushy or something.
Yeah, it does.
Even like they
It
feel
does.
mushy. I don't know. They feel different. Okay, so I love my white people, but not like that. So yeah. No.
So race
we've
is
been
a preference.
Well, yeah, it's definitely a preference. I mean, I prefer dark to brown skinned women. Period. Like, that's my preference. Like, not to say I ain't never fuck with a light skin. I gotta have my view.
Yeah.
But typically, like, if I'm looking,
I do too, and I know why I do.
I'm gonna be
And the funny
attracted
thing
to
about
the
it
dark
is, my
girls.
first wife is light. My first wife, I have two very light kids. Zaya and Summer are very light, but my second wife is browner.
Yeah.
Much browner.
Yeah.
And I know why I'm more attracted to beautiful brown skin or dark women.
What's your reason?
First of all, it's light skinned bitches a dime a dozen. They all think they fine.
Yeah,
It's
Yeah.
all-
Even if they
yeah,
ugly.
that's my thing. And if I may be very blunt, darker skinned women got prettier pussies. I'm sorry, it's just me.
I'm sure, right?
I'm
Because you get the
sorry.
light skinned bitches and shit be
The shit
black
is the
all
same-
around the thighs.
And then,
This should be wrapped up.
it's the same fucking color.
Shit looking like
Speaking of-
chopped meat.
And speaking of light
They be
skinned
having
women,
ugly titties
here
sometimes,
is
too.
my beautiful co-host, Angel Ray, Right on time.
Hi, Angel
That's
Ray.
Ebony. That's Taquita. That's Angel. Angel, we're talking about swinging.
Hey, I'm here for the swing life.
Come on, sit down. Grab a microphone. Grab a microphone. So these two ladies have a lifestyle company.
Okay.
They met. Let me catch you up because you just got it. They met when they were swinging. They were with their husbands, and now those marriages are fucking dissolved.
And I just got to say that now I am straight and I'm in a vanilla relationship.
Yeah, we want to
Hey,
talk
babe.
about that. We
We
want to
in a
talk
vanilla
about your. We want to talk about your vanilla relationship.
I'm also in a vanilla relationship.
How does it feel to go
Yeah.
from swinging with? First of all, let's talk about why did the shit not work? If y'all had this good sex
Let me
life,
tell you, I had
what
a whole
happened?
drama on Facebook behind a bitch. She gonna post. I was asleep. So many people messaged me. They was like, some bitch on there look like a grown ass fucking man with a ugly ass lace front. Y'all know who I'm talking about. This bitch gonna say, if Meezy hit you, if dude hit you up in your inbox, make sure you talk to his wife first, cause she be tripping. Bitch, that's protocol.
Right.
The fuck you mean? Yeah.
So why didn't the marriage work though? Ed?
Because he cheated. He
Well,
cheated.
a lot of people maybe listen to this podcast like, what the fuck you mean he cheated? Y'all
Let
was
me tell
swinging.
you. Let me tell you.
Right.
If I let you, if I ain't gonna say let you,
He
if
gotta
we
get a
fuck a
pass.
bitch, exactly. If we fuck
Gotta
a
get
bitch,
permission.
and you say, hey, I like this bitch. First of all, I'm very picky. I'm not finna just fuck you because you got a big ass. We ain't doing that. So he liked the bitch, but she wasn't my type. So he went behind my back. So therefore, y'all talking, conversating. When you doing that sneaky shit and you got bitches waiting on you at the party and shit,
Right.
coming out the
at
bathroom
the house,
with a bitch.
at your house. Yeah, you doing
Coming
too
out
much.
the bathroom with a bitch.
Yeah.
So
We
I swear, I just had this conversation with somebody yesterday about swinging and about having threesomes in your relationship and how once you open that Pandora's box in that relationship, it's hard to close.
It
You
is.
cannot close that box.
But you do
That
understand
motherfucker
that we
knocked the whole
as
building
men,
down.
I'm speaking for men. You do
Those just left.
I'm in a room full of women. I'm the only man in here, okay? My producer's a woman, my manager's a woman. You do understand we don't like
Yeah,
you
that's
to
heavy.
tell us what the fuck to do. Once you put a ground rule on us, if you let us roam and be free, we'll always come home. We like a loyal fucking dog. But when you start telling us you can't fuck this bitch, you can't fuck that bitch,
How
you can't
free you
do
gotta
But
that.
it's
be
not
though.
about
I'm doing
no.
it.
This is the
How
thing.
free do you gotta
It's
be?
not about you coming home. It's about you being respectful
Respectful.
and
Exactly.
respecting the fact that
Eli, I'ma tell you I'm fucking this bitch.
letting you and
something.
invite
They go to let
another
work.
person into our
door.
life.
Absolutely.
It's about
They go to let
respect. We
work.
don't give a
Don't let
damn
me
about
do
you coming
shit.
home. It's about respect.
It's about respect.
Because at the end
The
of
other
the day, if
problem
I'm
is
giving
then
you
you
that
have me-
pass, I might just be giving you a pass to stay out all night.
Right,
It ain't
and then-
about you coming home.
And
It's
then the
about
other problem
respect.
is you got me in these streets looking crazy.
Exactly.
You know, and that's the problem. It's like that's why we try to have an open relationship to avoid you having me out in these streets looking crazy.
Okay,
You know
so
what I'm
what's
saying?
worse?
'Cause
What's
guys
worse?
like to say, oh, just need some new pussy.
A man going away on vacation, fucking a bitch, don't mean nothing, never get a number, nothing, and come home, or a man having another outside relationship with a girl.
Having another
Another
outside
relationship.
relationship.
Outside relationship.
Of course.
And not only that, it's not too many attractive couples in the lifestyle. So we tried to maintain a.
That's why we had
I feel like
we had a
I feel
small
like-
circle. That's why we had
Exactly.
10 strong
And I feel
couples
like
that
I'm a
everybody
bad-
was attractive.
I feel like my body. I have 5 kids, by the way, and I feel like my body is great. Don't bring me no sloppy bitch with no titties hanging to her motherfucking nipples and shit, and my shit perky. Like, who doing that?
Right.
Yeah, 5 kids, 20, 19, 18, 17, and 14.
Okay, and you popping.
And she popping.
Exactly.
I see it.
Exactly. So
Say the ages again.
20, 19, 18, 17, and 14.
When the fuck was you not pregnant,
I know,
motherfucker?
right?
I might
you
be
had
pregnant
another-
now.
Damn.
I
Did
might
you
be pregnant now.
any-
It just
any
always
C-
happens.
Any C-sections in there anyway?
No.
You got
What?
that snapback, girl. You have
Yeah, she do.
You have a pussy
The
rejuvenation
super
surgery.
nappy around here.
Golly.
She a real snappy dugout.
Back. So what happened? What happened with you, TQ?
What, as far as my marriage?
Yeah, why didn't it work?
Actually, you know, I would say I cheated first of all. But I feel like my cheating went back to the situation where I tried to be open with you and tell you what I wanted. You know what I mean? That we was going to put this back on the table. I did try to go about it that way first.
Right.
But it was such a problem, you know? So I just kind of did it on my own. Not to mention my husband used to always say, I'll never divorce you if you cheat on me. It ain't that serious. So in my brain, I kind of felt like I had a pass.
Right.
So I did it.
All
and
the thousand bitches he fucked. You
right.
fuck one
when you
nigga.
fucked all of my friends, bitch. Nigga, everybody I motherfucking know.
See, now I think
okay,
that's
you
the
fucked them
problem.
all, right?
Okay.
So with that, so it's like the one time I do some shit, like it wasn't like it was a problem in our relationship. You know what I'm saying? He didn't even know. And when he found out, it was already over. Do you understand what I'm saying? But again, a man in his ego, he couldn't handle it. He left like that day.
Oh, wow.
And we've never been back
Yikes.
together like fully since then.
Now, Miss Angel Ray, you was going to
Yeah.
add something to that.
I was gonna say that I would have a problem with sleeping with like my friends or people that for me, I feel like even if it's in the same city that you live in, because it's too easy for them to have access to the next person without you.
Well, for us, our friendships build from just doing that initially. So we weren't like friends first and then decided, okay, well, let's fuck each other's husband. Like it didn't go like that. So we met as couples trying to meet other couples to hook up with. And then when you find out like, damn, she's cool as shit.
Yeah,
like
see,
we
that's
all
the
cool as shit.
problem.
But it ended up not being that much of a problem because, for instance, like we haven't hooked up in ages and ages because the friendship outgrew that type of relationship pretty much. So, you know, we're not like that any longer. But, you know,
And
I feel what
did
you're
get
saying
with her
about-
husband,
yeah,
but
like
I don't
she-
see him in any kind of way. You
right.
know what I'm
It
saying?
just never
But
was a
see,
big
okay,
problem.
so let me ask you this then. So because how my mindset looks at it is, like I said, once you open up that Pandora's box, it's like, okay, you and your husband are swinging with another couple. And say you and your husband aren't on the best of terms, and you basically, that's kind of like your second husband. If you know, the person that you can vent to, the person that you bring all your other shit to, and you could be real with that person and talk to that person, and that person can receive what you're going through because y'all swinging, right?
Absolutely.
So that kind of is it happened a whole lot where couples kind of like can get together? Because I know
this
it's
is what I'll
specific
say. I'll say
situation
this.
like that.
I'll say this. You know, after most of us couples were kind of separated, all of us kind of are broken at this point. The group who were initially together, most of us are no longer together, and a lot of people have kind of like intermingled after the fact, like in different relationships. Like they used to hook up and now they, or that, you know, like a lot of my friends of friends kind of hooked up around the way. Even in my situation, my ex-husband ended up being in a relationship with a girl like we used to swing with. Like she was the she was the host of our wedding. Like it was deep. So he ended
Holy
up
smokes.
That's what
being
I'm saying. It gets
yeah,
deep,
he was in a
for
whole
real.
relationship with her after the fact. So of course, for me, going back into my head, especially because I was always uneasy with their friendship, you know, it definitely makes me feel like, oh, you've been fucking this bitch, like
Right.
you've
Right,
been
it was
fucking her.
always there.
Especially because I never fucked her, like I wasn't into her. So if she was always for you anyway, and she didn't live far from the house, you know,
Yeah,
especially
see,
when
that's
I
a
was working
problem.
all the time, you know, it became a time where I was working a lot. So you're just not going to convince me that, you know, you're not going to tell me that was not happening before. Because I remember one day he was just talking, and he was talking, and her name kept coming up. And I was like, let me ask you, are you and so-and-so, are y'all fucking? And he was like, who? Nah, but I fucked all her friends, though. Da-da-da-da. I'm like, okay. First of all, I found that disrespectful as hell, you know. That was
Exactly.
first thing, because we were still married at the time. Okay. But then I was like, okay. And then a few months later, they were living together. So I'm like, you was lying then, you was lying before. Mind you, this girl was literally I think he fucked her on our wedding night. Like, no lie. Like, she was at we went out, party, got super fucked up. Everybody went back to my suite in the limo afterwards. I was so drunk. I remember him kind of like asking me if they could do it. And I was kind of thinking like, no, nigga, I'm not let you fuck another bitch on our wedding night, right? But when I woke up the next morning, there was definitely a condom wrapper in a trash can. And it was something I never really brought up to him because I think I just was probably like
He
didn't
dumb
want to
as
be
fuck.
that devastated.
He dumb as fuck.
You know?
I'd have burnt that condom wrapper.
Right.
I'd have threw that shit out the window. I'd have walked it downstairs and put it in the incinerator
Yeah.
my damn self.
So
Yes.
I
But you'd
know
have never saw that condom
looking
again.
back at
Never.
that was like all the signs were there.
Oh,
You know,
okay.
looking back at it.
Okay, so give me the good points of swinging and the bad points of swinging.
I would say, the variety. The parties are always fun. Like, if you have the right group of people, the parties are always fun. I used to spend a lot of time just sitting in, like, the smoke area, like, chilling, drinking, smoking. Like, again, because you have a lot of people who are like-minded. So the things that you talk about and discuss, everybody's kind of on the same page. So it's always a good time.
Ab, tell me the good points of swinging, Ab.
The nuts.
Ding, 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 ding.
The variety of bitch you get.
The variety is definitely a good part.
Variety. Meet good people is my best friend.
Okay.
So we meet good people, and yeah, back to the nuts.
Tell me the bad part of swinging.
I mean, it's the cheating.
You're
It's
taking
the,
a risk.
It's the risk you take. That's the biggest part. Like
The emotional risk.
No, just I guess so. Yes and no. I mean, I guess
risk with losing
sometimes
your mate.
a risk at destroying your marriage.
Mm-hmm.
Because I never went into my marriage thinking that we would ever get divorced. That was it, and I was always saying like I would never divorce. That would never be the situation. So on and so forth. And I still ended up in that boat. So you just take a risk.
That's because he got all in his motherfucking emotions
Well, yeah,
like a little
but I tell you
bitch.
what, it's a lot
you gotta be
easier
mature.
now.
TQ's husband, I hope you
Definitely.
listen to this podcast. You got in your emotions like a little bitch. How you gonna fuck everything you want to fuck, and then when she fuck one thing,
Right, you leave her.
You gonna act like a little bitch about it.
I
You
felt the
know,
same
bitch.
way. I was like, "Are you ever gonna man up about this shit or not?" Like
You
I
acted
thought,
like a little
I really
bitch.
thought that he would eventually get over it. He really never got over it.
Cause he act like a little bitch.
Right.
That's why.
Yeah.
He wanted to do what the fuck he wanted to do, and then as soon as
So-
you did what you wanted to do, he gonna act like a bitch.
Are you two still swinging or no?
No, we
We're
are
vanilla-
both in vanilla
vanilla
relationships
relationships
right now.
now.
Oh, that's
I'm
excellent.
in a regular relationship.
Yeah.
Well,
that's
how
what
do I
vanilla
find out
means.
where these swinger parties are so I can go?
But
I just
they're
want to
not.
go.
They're having a lifestyle party that we're invited
We're having
to.
a,
I want to
we're
go.
having a
I'm
we're gonna go.
like
We
I
are
don't
definitely
have
going.
to. I like to go and experience things. Like I don't have to partake in what's going on.
I'm doing one at
but
the end
I'm
of the month.
It's
really
called a
interested
on the 23rd.
On 23rd.
on the 23rd.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna make sure I'm in town for that
Of this month.
because
Of this
Yes.
month.
yeah.
Damn you! I'll be in New York.
Really? Oh, you want to be there?
No, I'll be in New York. I'll be at court. The court said.
Oh, fishnets,
Of course,
yeah.
we're
That's
doing.
not.
We're doing.
That's not the end of the month, right?
That's just end of July.
That's when I'll be at.
We're doing Hito in Atlanta on the 23rd.
Okay, I'm gonna come to that because I'm
Hedonism
very.
And this one is
interested
going to be
to
a
Do
lot
y'all
smaller.
collect?
Just
Do
intimate.
y'all
It's
collect
not gonna be
phones
crazy.
when y'all have?
At this particular one, we're going to
Yeah.
be collecting phones. Yeah.
Okay, so how does it work? Like, I come in and walk me through just the basics of it. and,
Okay,
like,
so this how it goes. Normally, when you come to to one of my parties,
Sexy bubbles.
yes, my sexy bubbles. I gotta tell y'all about some other shit too. But anyway,
Okay.
my sexy bubbles. So if you're a single lady, you get a pink band. If you are a single guy, you probably get like a loud ass green band. And if you're a couple, you'll probably get like a purple band. So this lets everybody know that, okay, I can go talk to this girl. She's a single woman here. Or if I see somebody I like, okay, she's part of a couple. So they know to, how
Maybe
to
talk to the
proceed.
guy first. Right.
Most of the time you can't go out upstairs. Like it can't be like two guys going upstairs. Like, you always got to have a woman. We always have theme rooms.
And it's always a balanced number as far
Yes.
as ratio. We like
Have
to
you
always have
ever
more
had a
women than men.
situation where you were swinging and the two men wanted to hook up?
No. No,
No.
not that I know of.
I was like, I don't get what he said.
Hey,
Now,
no.
plot twist.
Now we did.
They're not.
We did have a
welcome.
situation. We did have that one
What?
situation when we was having for my birthday, and we was all in the room. We was like having a great time, and then there was somebody's husband that just wasn't participating. And he was like standing off to the side, fully clothed, and it made all the men very uncomfortable because they was like, all these badass bitches in the room. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
what are you looking at?
What are you looking at? What are you doing? Like, why are you not in it? You know?
He's looking at you.
So
nigga.
we did kind of,
Put it in your mouth.
we did end up kind of like kicking him out a little bit, just because the guys were like, what was up with that? Like, all the guys recognized it,
Right.
Right.
So yeah, they're like, nigga, put your face in some pussy. So yeah, it was just kind
Yeah,
of
do something.
something,
You can't just sit here watching and shit.
right? Yeah.
You can't just sit here watching. Well, I thank you, ladies, for coming in and
Thanks for having
explaining the lifestyle of swinging and not swinging and all of that stuff to us. So, one more quick question before I leave. With you're both in vanilla relationships right now, do your guys know about your past?
Yes.
Yes.
I think that's a must. That's something that
Yeah.
you
can't
shouldn't.
not
Yeah.
tell him
You might
that.
run into somebody out in public and be like, hey, they might break it up. Anything it would make
the
for an
good
uncomfortable
part
situation.
about that, you have to be a certain type of person to even get into a situation like this. Because I can go fuck and don't have no feelings and get the fuck up and go and that be that. Don't think about the shit no more. You know
I
what
say
I'm
that
saying?
all the time.
So
Don't I say that all the
we
time?
can do
I
that.
say that
It's
all
like,
the time.
yeah.
That's
when you
me.
do that, so you see a motherfucker in the street, you probably even forgot you and fucking motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Keep in contact. But I want everybody to listen out for Behind the Lipsticks. Is me and Takeda is uncut, talk about niggas, gays, anything we want to fucking talk about,
Right.
uncensored.
It's
It's what
uncut.
women talk about.
And what we feel
that-
about,
how we really feel.
I think a lot of guys need to tune in because hopefully we be putting y'all on to a little game or like some shit y'all think we don't know.
Hold
we know.
up.
You know?
You talking to
Exactly.
Sweet Daddy Corn Chip on his podcast. Put me on the shit. All right?
gonna
What
put
is,
y'all on to
I got some
women.
people asking, what is a vanilla relationship?
Vanilla relationship is
Like
someone
traditional.
who's not as traditional. You're not in a
Exclusive,
lifestyle.
right?
Exclusive.
Now we both still mess with women, but they're not allowed to play.
Ah.
Shit. I want to be in that motherfucking relationship. Best believe that. I mean, I had a girl that was really into me one time, and she was bisexual. And the reason why I was connected to her in a certain manner. And the reason why we didn't connect and take it to the point where she was going to be my woman is because she wanted to have her relationship, but I couldn't have anything else. I was like, bitch, you crazy.
I'm just a firm believer in
fucking
ain't no
crazy.
nigga gonna fuck the same pussy for the rest of his life. I still don't, even in this vanilla relationship.
I ain't guaranteed
Like,
he ain't cheating.
it ain't no guarantee. It
Let me
don't
tell you
matter
something.
what type of
If
nigga
I
this nigga
gave
is.
you access to Neiman Marcus shoe department for women, would you wear the same pair of motherfucking shoes for the rest of your life?
That's my point.
Now, we gotta go.
Right.
We
That's
gotta
my
go.
fucking point.
I would absolutely be open to doing a part 2 to this podcast. Absolutely. I'll have you guys back and we can talk
Absolutely.
some more. All right, everybody out there, keep God first.
Thank y'all
Everything
for
else will
tuning in.
fall into place. We'll talk at you, with you, and to you next Monday right here on Come On Son, the podcast. Don't forget to go to cigarinternational.com, and when you get ready to check out, put in the code ED10 off for 10% off your entire purchase. All right, that's it. Come on, son.
Come on, son.
Fuck out of here with that bullshit. Next time. Bye-bye. This Ed Lover podcast is being done in conjunction with Cigars International. Make sure you check out cigarsinternational.com for all your cigar needs.
This episode of Come On, Son, the podcast is produced and engineered by co-executive producers Kimana Paulus and Krista Hayes. Recorded at Mean Street Studios in downtown Atlanta, Georgia. This is an official Loudspeakers Network podcast.
This Ed Lover podcast is being done in conjunction with Cigars International. Make sure you check out cigarsinternational.com for all your cigar needs.
This episode of Come On, Son, the podcast is produced and engineered by co-executive producers Kimana Paulus and Krista Hayes. Recorded at Mean Street Studios in downtown Atlanta, Georgia. This is an official Loudspeakers Network podcast. Network podcast. Network podcast. Network podcast. Network podcast. Network